Hey guys, so today I resubscribed to Nintendo Switch Online. So I'd like to talk about it in this video. So for those of you who are unaware, Nintendo Switch Online is Nintendo's version of Sony PlayStation Plus or Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass. It's their online yearly membership and they offer a range of different benefits for doing that, and you can see that I have a lot of those benefits there. Classic games. When you're in the Switch or the Switch 2, you'll see it in the home menu, and this is the Nintendo Switch Online menu. So I just want to talk about some things here. Now, you can find out more information about this on the Nintendo website. It gives you a summary of things, online play and different things, different features. There is a free trial for a week. Now, one thing to know is that there's there's a few different types of memberships, but the key thing is that you can get a normal membership, and here in the UK it's £17.99 or £1.50 a month, but you can get an expansion pack that's got additional games, etc., and that one's £34.99 or £2.92 per month. There's also like a family membership that you can start adding, a different number of people in the house to the membership. That will definitely save you money if there's a few people in your house that have a Switch or Switch 2, etc. Okay, so this is the Nintendo Switch Online homepage. And one thing I will note is, I'm recording this on the 14th of July, and if I take my face away for a second, you'll see that, yes, it does expire a year from now. But the weird thing is if you look at the membership here, it's saying 2 years, 5 months, 26 days, which is a little bit strange. But if you click on it, it's showing the individual membership as 1 year, 5 months. But then with the expansion pack, the individual membership is 1 year, 1 day for a total of 2 years. I don't know why they're doing that. It's a little bit confusing. I don't know why they've got it like that. When you sign up, they'll ask you to do an automatic renewal. Now, it retails at £34.99 for the expansion pack. I got it from CD Keys. I paid £26.80 or something. And that's the one thing I will say. I was giving you the prices there, but don't buy the membership directly from Nintendo, because it's so much cheaper to go to a download website such as CD Keys or, one of the online retailers. You will find the Nintendo Switch Online membership much cheaper online. Don't do it through Nintendo. It's just cheaper to buy the voucher and then redeem the code on your profile. So why would you get a Nintendo membership? Well, one of the most obvious things is to play online. You will need a membership to play online. It's kind of similar to PlayStation, Xbox, etc. There are a number of different offers. Some of them are good. Some of them, not so good. Some of them are kind of weird. The controllers, for example, they're not really offers. I mean, at the moment, I think most of these controllers are £40 here in the UK. They do sometimes run offers where they're a lot cheaper, and that's when I would recommend them. But retail, it's not really an offer. They're quite expensive for what they are. You do get Tetris 99, which is a great game, F-Zero 99. And at the top right here, we've got game trials. And I can't work out why that isn't available to everyone, regardless of their membership, because surely it's in Nintendo's interest for you to try games, because if you enjoy the games, you're going to buy them. So yeah, a little bit weird, that one. When you've got the membership as well, you can save your data to the cloud. So that's a really good benefit as well. Maybe one that people don't think about. But if you're playing Zelda, for example, here, you're not going to just save it locally on your Switch or your Switch 2. You will also back it up to the cloud. That's very useful, and it's good if, especially if you need to send your Switch back or something. That's really good, and it's really important to be able to back it up. You go up to here, we've got missions and rewards. This is something that might appeal to kids. There's a lot of things that you can unlock, etc., but it's not something I've really messed around with or played around with. I just don't care about it, if I'm honest. But yeah, there's lots of things like that to interest people. For me, there was a few reasons to get Switch Online. One is to play online. One of the reasons I went for the expansion pack is because it doesn't just give you access to like the NES and SNES systems, etc. It also gives you access to GameCube. They've got a few games there already. And they also give you access to Sega Mega Drive. So those were the kind of two platforms I was keen to get because of the expansion pack. Two fantastic systems. And, there's other things there as well, downloadable content for those are Switch games, and I suspect over time I'm going to see the Switch 2 games there as well for additional content. So yeah, the expansion pack, it's not for everyone, but I think it's worth it. And in addition to the retro systems, this is another reason to buy the expansion pack. Now, for those of you who don't know, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom were released on the Switch. I think I've showed this in the past, but I've also got Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. Now, if you've got the Switch edition of these games, which I do, you can buy an upgrade pack for like £6 or £7, and it gives you better graphics. It's optimized for the Switch 2, and it will give you a better experience when playing these Zelda games on your Switch 2. But you have to buy them for £6 or £7. That is, unless you get the expansion pack. So I've paid for the expansion pack. So for the next year, I'll get access to the Switch 2 edition. So it's going to be a better version of these games. And I like the idea of this. I hope they do this for more games. To their credit, Nintendo have optimized a lot of games free of charge. They don't charge for it, but these ones are kind of special what they've done. So that's a reason to get the expansion pack, but you do have to kind of go on and check the games, etc. Okay, here's the main reason I think this is the main reason it's safe to say that I've bought the Switch Online membership, and it's retro games. Yes, I do want to play some games online, but I play online all the time on the Xbox. It was less of a thing for me. The reason I wanted to get the membership, because like for £26, £27 a year, I think it's a good price for me to play classic games on my Switch. Now, a lot of you will be thinking, that's stupid. You can play, Nintendo NES games, Nintendo Entertainment System. You can play NES games, SNES games, Nintendo 64 games, etc. You can play them on your phone, play them on your iPad, play them on old handhelds, play them on your laptop. You can play all these games, not legally, but you can play them using emulation in a lot of different ways. But I just like to play it on the Switch or the Switch 2. I just think it's a nice way. If I'm playing Zelda, I can just quickly switch and play a classic game. And to me, these are classic games. My parents, unfortunately, had to spend over £40 for this golf game. I had Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, and I had a lot of other games here as well. So I do like the way this is implemented as well, because it's very easy to launch the games. You click on it like this, the game will start, and you've got the little Nintendo Entertainment System, and then we've got the game. Now, then we've got the menu. Now, here you can actually create save points here. Now, again, this is a minor thing, but I think it's important. It's something that most emulation platforms offer, but I think save points are fantastic. They're very useful, especially for older systems like the NES and the SNES, etc., because those games were brutal. They didn't give you save points, or if they did, a lot of the time it would be password generated. Just a lot of games there that just didn't have batteries in the cartridge, so you couldn't save the game. So you just had to play through them. A lot of those games were brutal, but they were great games. Now, I've grew up with all these systems. I've owned all of these systems, and obviously a lot of memories with them. And if you're looking through here, you'll probably see, my kind of main criticism of them. These are just listing the main ones in the main membership. They're not listing the Mega Drive or the mature 64 games, etc. But if you look through these games, you'll notice that they're not extensive. That's my biggest criticism about this. They just don't have enough games in their online catalogue. And yes, there's a lot of games, but let's be honest, a lot of them are great, a lot of them are garbage. And they were garbage then, and they're garbage now. A lot of these games were not reviewed well back in the day either, but they've been thrown into the online collection. And it's, I realise a lot of this is because of copyright, different licensing laws around the world and different things, but it is a bit frustrating. A lot of these games are like 40-year-old, 40-year-old games, and they're still not here. I know the last time that I played Switch Online, they had Kung Fu, which is another game that I think my parents paid £40 for. But Kung Fu is not here. And that's a game I would play. Kung Fu is not there. So one of my favourite games is not there. So that's one of the criticisms I do have, is that I like the fact they've got these retro games. They've obviously got all the Mario games, etc. But there's a lot of classic games that are missing. A lot of classic games. And that's just something you have to live with. Now, it's not, they never promised the whole extensive list of games. They don't promise everything. They're giving you a small selection of games, and you could argue that the games that they've selected are some of the best games on each platform, but they're mostly Nintendo games rather than third-party ones. But yeah, it's just one of those things. You have to be aware of that when you pay for the membership. Hopefully they'll start adding more titles to the GameCube games. It's quite good that they've got Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, Soul Calibur 2, Super Mario Strikers. I hope they keep adding more games to the GameCube collection. So yeah, I've got Mega Drive as well, and there's mature 64 games. But yeah, I would say that's my biggest criticism of the membership. I'm happy paying £26 a year to play online. That's the price you have to pay to get it, but I just wish they would included more games. Definitely enough games there for me to play, to have fun with, etc. And a lot of these games I'll just kind of dip in and out. But I would like to see more games added to it. But yeah, it's interesting to go back and see what they've done, because I've not had Nintendo Switch Online for a few years. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Some of you might be watching this and thinking this is a complete rip-off. I think for the access to the GameCube games, access to all the classic NES and SNES games, etc., I think it's worth it for me, even just to play some Zelda games or play some Mario games. I think it's worth it, at least for a few years. And if I'm not using it, I'll stop subscribing. But I think for the expansion packs, the ability to play certain games online and all those retro games, for me, it's worth it. But some of the things that they're offering as offers, such as the controllers, etc., I think those controllers are overpriced if they're not on sale. But if they drop in price, I might buy them. So thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Nintendo Switch Online. I do think, looking online, some people are a big fan of it. Others think it's a rip-off. Let me know what you think down in the comment area below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you've enjoyed the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and please stay tuned for the next one. I will have another video soon. And until next time, take care.